Hello, welcome to my channel. So on this video today, Saturday, we're going to review Texas exam questions. And this is a new book, 2021 by Pearson VUE, which is typically where you take your exams. So we'll be doing only Texas questions in the first chapter. All right, what's up, everybody? This is Wild Lily Handy, a realtor in the San Antonio area, metro area, right? We're a huge city, yet a small town feel. This is your first time to my channel. You want to learn everything to help you pass your real estate exam, and then also learn anything and everything about getting your business in real estate started once you pass your exam. So remember to subscribe to this channel. So tap that subscribe button, click that little bell so you're the first to get alerted anytime I go live or I upload a new video. And like this video if you find it valuable, and write any comments at the bottom and let me know if there's a topic that you would like to learn about on Texas or national. So this is being streamed into the YouTube channel, our AgentPrep Facebook group, and also to my AgentPrep business page. So with that said, let's get started. So this is the book we're using today, 2021 Texas VUE Real Estate Exam Prep Questions and Answers. Okay, and I like this book. I researched several books and I like it because it also answers the questions, okay, in detail. So let me hide that. Okay, so let me enlarge the screen. Okay, there we go. And in the table of contents, this book has, I think, three exams. Okay, so the study section has vocabulary exam, has exam 1, exam 2, a math exam, and then another vocabulary exam, and 2 more regular exams and math exams. Okay, and then it tells you a little bit about secrets to passing the real estate exam, closing, limits of liability, and there's also a how to use this guide, and it has a whole vocabulary section. Okay, well, actually it recommends to go to this link to get the vocabulary. Okay, and it can also be downloaded. Unfortunately, I will not be able to share this book with you on the Facebook page like I did the other one, because this one is brand new and the other ones are old. The other one was really old and it was already uploaded on Google. Okay. All right. So let's get started with exam number 1 for Texas. And I'll have to enlarge this. Okay. And you know what? I may have to put it on a different screen. So let me know if when you see this, if it's large enough for you. Okay. All right. At any time, write comments down, answer the questions. Remember to write the question number and the letter answer when you respond. And before you do any comments, go to StreamYard/Facebook and give Facebook permission to post your name on StreamYard. Okay, you have to give it permission to do that. Okay, I'm going to refresh my screens on YouTube and Facebook so that anybody that makes comments, I'll be able to answer them. And I can't do that until I end up going live. Okay, so that's why I always have to wait until we go live. So if you hear some background sound, it's because I'm putting the speaker off on the different stations here that I'm on. So bear with me a moment here. It's not refreshing on the Facebook page. So in the meantime, you can read the question and post your answer.
YouTube,
okay.
and post your answer.
Okay, there goes that one. I've got one more to. Okay, which one was this one?
So that's why I always have to wait until we go live.
Facebook's a little bit slower when we go live. Okay, I got them all set up now. All right, so let's get going here. So question number one, many states determine the order of water rights according to which users of the water hold a recorded beneficial use permit. This allocation of water rights is determined by what? A, accretion, B, riparian theory, C, littoral theory, or D, the doctrine of prior appropriation. Knowing vocabularies would help you here. So many states determine the order of water rights according to which users of the water hold a recorded beneficial permit. So if they have water rights, it has to be recorded and they're given a permit to use a certain amount of water. So this allocation of water rights is determined by whom? So go ahead, answer the question, type the number and the letter while I let my cat out. And don't hesitate. This is where you get to practice. If you get it wrong, it's okay. It just means you need to study a little bit more. And then I'll be showing you the answer. Nobody. Okay, so the answer is D, right? The doctrine of prior appropriation. Okay, because littoral is standing still water. Riparian is rivers, creeks. Yeah, creeks. And littoral, ocean, lakes, ponds, anything like that that's not moving. Accretion is like the addition of land. Okay. Oops. Oh my gosh. Okay, so the answer is D. All terms relate to water rights, with riparian, the right to use water adjacent to one's property. But riparian is, R for river, being the most common in sections of the U.S. where water is abundant. However, in states where water is more scarce, and actually in Texas, okay, there can be a scarcity of water when we go through a drought. So more scarce, a form of prior appropriation. So the water usage, water rights have to be appropriated prior to using them. So also known as first in time is first in right. So whoever asks for the rights first the first in time to request the rights, they have the right to use the water. It grants water rights to divert a specific amount of water from a specific source to irrigate a specific piece of property. Now that water could come from a creek on the property, a river, a pond, other water source, okay? And it's used to water the property or other things, irrigate a specific piece of property. Those rights are then assigned a priority based on when the right was first used or applied for. In periods of peak demand, they give those who claim the oldest the right to get their water first. And they're also given a limit of how much they can use. Okay. So unfortunately with this one, you get to see, in some of them, you get to see the answer, right? And I don't want you to see the answers all the time. So let's see if I do it this way. There. Okay, number 2. Oh, let me type in the answer. Okay, new book. And I typed in the comments what the book name is in case you want to order it. Number 1, D. Okay. So number 1 was D. Okay, so somebody answered. Who answered? Hi, Lisbeth. Okay, hey, Lisbeth, go to Facebook StreamYard/Facebook and give Facebook permission to post your name on StreamYard. Okay, so it is StreamYard/Facebook.com. Okay, go to that website and approve Facebook to post on StreamYard. Okay, and then I'll be able to see your name. So you had mentioned C, that's littoral. Littoral is it's still water. Okay, it's not running water. So 1D. Okay, is this for national? Hold on. You know what? Shoot, I didn't check to see. I think this book it may be just for Texas, or it may be including national. So forgive me for not evaluating the book enough. But this looks like Texas. Okay, number 2. The right to control one's property includes all of the following except A, the right to invite people on the property for a political fundraiser. B, the right to exclude the utilities meter reading or reader. C, the right to erect no trespassing signs. Or D, the right to enjoy pride of ownership. So the right to control one's property includes all of the following except 1. So think about it and read the answers carefully. Okay, let's see. Anybody? Hi, Jada. Thank you for joining us. Anybody going to answer? Oh, that's funny. I put, instead of 1D, I put exclamation. Okay. It'll show up. There we go. Okay. All right. Number 2, nobody. Okay. Lisbeth says B, the right to exclude the utilities meter reader. Anybody else? No. Okay. The answer is B, the right to enter and work on property. Remember that all the utilities have an easement access to our properties. The water company, electric company, meter readers, gas, sewer, electric, any of those that we may have. Telephone companies, if we have landlines, okay, all have access to our property, including cable companies, okay? So it's essentially if a company provides a service and owns the equipment, phone and cable, they're usually granted an easement. Okay, so those we can't get away from. All right, so that was number 2B. Very good. All right, so go ahead and post these answers on here. All right, number 3. Which of the following types of ownership cannot be created by operation of law, but must be created by the parties' expressed intent? Okay. Ownership cannot be created by operation of law. So it's not created by law. It's created by parties' expressed intent. So when one person, two people, four people buy a property, okay, which of the following types cannot be created by law? Community property, tenancy in common, condominium ownership, or tenancy by the entireties? Type in your answer. I'll give you a moment to do that. Okay, nobody? Okay. So let's go see the answer. Answer is D, tenants by the entirety. And so in state of Texas, we have community property, but it's equivalent to tenants by the entirety. That's with husband and wives. Okay, they can choose or create by deciding to do so and declaring it as such in contracts and deeds. Tenancy in common is put in motion by state law. Community property is a law of ownership that exists in Arizona, California, Idaho, Louisiana, Nevada, New Mexico, Texas, Washington, and some other states. Okay, so this is like a national question here. Tenancy by the entireties is an estate that is recognized in some states between husband and wife. In Texas, we have community property, as it mentioned here. Okay, so it's at which of the following types of ownership cannot be created by operation of law? That is tenancy by the entireties, which is when they're married. And the reason why that one is correct instead of community property is because it applies to multiple states. For Texas and these particular states, it would only for those, it would be community property. Okay. So 3D is the answer, and you answered condominium ownership. Yeah, no, they have an HOA, and those are, it's if you're couples, that's what it applies to. Married couples, tenants by the entirety, husband and wife. Okay. So 3D, oh, I didn't show the answer for number 2. Number 2 was 2B, and number 3 is 3D. Okay. All right, number 4. It already shows the answer. Sometimes that's why I don't like these books. I like the other one that we were using because of the fact that some of them will show the answer, and I really don't want to do that. Okay, so let's see if I can. Number 4. Oh, I didn't finish talking about the answer on number 3. Oh, let me go back. It was probably because it was on the other page. So joint tenancy. Okay, joint tenancy is when they're not necessarily like business partners, but they have to meet 4 conditions. T-tip, time, title, interest, possession is joint tenancy. This form of ownership will be automatically assumed. Tenancy in common is a type of joint ownership by parties, but not married. That allows a person to sell his share or leave it in a will with or without the consent of the others. If a person dies without a will, their share goes to the heirs, not to the others. If they don't have a will, it goes to the state, right? And that would be escheat. And so it was explaining more. Tenancy by the entireties. So they have equal right of possession and enjoyment during their joint lives and with the right of survivorship. Survivorship means if one spouse passes away, their share goes to the spouse. It doesn't go to the heirs, okay? Tenants in common, it goes to their heirs because they're not married. And then the other one that's not talked about on here is severalty, when there's only one owner, okay? All right, number 4. Which of the following are considered to be personal property? Okay, so remember, personal property versus real property, right? Real property is actually the real estate, the land and the improvements on it, right? So which of the following are considered to be personal property? A wood-burning fireplace, B, furnace, C, bathtubs, or D, patio furniture? Okay, so Lisbeth said for D. Anybody else? Nobody else participating. Okay, very good, Lisbeth. Yes, patio furniture, right? The concept of personal property typically comes into play at time of sale. And bathroom fixtures, fireplace, those are attached. Remember Maria, okay? The method, the agreement, the reason, intention, and agreement at the end. Sorry. I think the Maria method, attachment, reasoning, and intent, and agreement. Okay. I don't have them memorized. All right. Number 5. So that was number 4. Okay, shoot. So let's see if this will work. No, you get to see the answer. Okay, well, I'll have to figure this book out. I'm not as excited about this book as other ones. Okay, so the word improvement, okay, would refer to all of the following except what? A, streets, B, a sanitary sewer system, C, trade fixtures, or D, the foundation. So we already have the answer there, right? So word improvement. When a property is being improved, either inside or outside, all of the following are improvements except trade fixtures. And why is that? Could somebody answer why trade fixtures is not an improvement? That'll make you think. Anyone want to answer that? Why trade fixtures is not an improvement? Nobody, huh? Because it can be removed. Well, trade fixtures belong to the business. Okay, so if it's a dentist, so that's usually with commercial rentals. Okay, so if it's a business, if it's a doctor, a dentist, they have their trade fixtures, right? Their business, and those go with them. The landlord's not going to want those trade fixtures when they leave, because that is for their particular trade, for their particular business. Even though they may be installed, screwed in. They got it? Yes, they can be removed, but the reason being is that they belong to the business who rented the unit. Okay, come on, number 6. Gosh. Okay, I've decided I'm not too crazy about this book. Oh my gosh. Okay, because of the fact that I'm having a harder time managing. Let me see if I use a bolder font, if it'll be larger. Okay, it still shows it. Okay, so all of the following are physical characteristics of land except A, indestructibility, B, uniqueness, C, immobility, or D, scarcity. And so you need to know the vocabulary also, okay? And so the answer, of course, D, right? It's a scarcity means if the land is scarce, it's a fundamental economic concept that holds that the rarer and more desirable something is, the more valuable it's going to be. So it's a supply and demand. So if there are less homes available, there's going to be a lot of demand. So it's scarce. The inventory is scarce. For example, professional athletes are highly paid because only the smallest percentage of people have the ability to perform at that level. Land is scarce because there is an infinite amount available and finite available. As Will Rogers once said, they ain't making any more of it. So it's not infinite, I said infinite, finite. There's a limited amount of land left. I mean, there's still a lot of land, okay? However, as population grows, more land is being used and less land we have. Or more wood houses are being constructed, right? So to meet the demand for new homes. So 6D. All right, number 7. Nah, that'll make it really small. Number 7, certain items on the premises that are installed by the tenant and are related to the tenant's business are called what? If you can answer without looking at the answer, that would be great, right? It relates to the question we just answered. So number 7 is what? Trade fixtures, okay? So the business owner that uses those particular trade fixtures, like a dentist chair, they are installed by the tenant. However, they belong to the tenant's business, and therefore they can take them with. The landlord's going to want them to take them with. If they don't take them, then the landlord can sell them if they don't come for them within 30 days. All right, number 8. Personal property includes all of the following except A, chattels, B, fructus industriales, C, implements, and D, fixtures. So I'm not going to keep it on the page so that if you saw the answer, oh, well, well, well. So I'm going to see if I can open it up on my phone. And that way I can try to prevent. Okay, so type your answer on the chat. And any time you have any questions, please feel free to type in a question, okay? So that's for anyone who's watching on YouTube or our Facebook group or our business page. So A is D, chattels. Chattel is like cattle. Cattle moves. Okay, so that's a good way to remember it. Cattle moves. So chattel, okay, is A, is personal property. Fructus industrialis, it's like, crop on the property. Implements, also crops on the property. Fixtures, those are attached fixtures on the property. Okay, those are not personal property. They're attached. They are real. They're part of the real property. So implements and fructus industrialis refer to profit from crops. Okay, so that's kind of Latin, that are grown as a result of a person's labor, such as corn, as opposed to those others that occur naturally, such as grass or minerals. Now, grass is grown, okay, and sold, right, for sod. And so that's an implement. And so you said B. Oh, yeah. So B and C are basically the same, like it says here, for crops. So farmers will lease property, and in order to grow their crop, instead of buying the land, they lease it. It's pretty inexpensive to lease, typically about $100 per acre. So if they lease 20 acres, it's $2,000 a year. And so what they have to do is make sure they make a lot more money than that, on the sale of their crop. Wait a minute, this answered D, but chattels is A. Wow, that's, let's see, wait a minute. Personal property includes all of the, oh, I'm sorry. You see what happened here? I read the question wrong. Personal property. So, crop belongs to the tenant. Chattel is, cattle moves. So the answer is D. I'm sorry. It's fixtures. Fixtures are fixed to the property. See how easy we can misread the question and screw up? Okay, because the mind is going like crazy and I'm not carefully focusing. So I'm explaining what chattel is, right? It moves. So it's personal property. So where are the implements? I explained it right, but I gave the wrong answer. So D is the answer here. Fixtures, that is attached to the property. Not trade fixtures, just fixtures. Sorry about that. Okay, number 9. A person who has complete control over a parcel of land, real estate, okay, is said to own a what? A person who has complete control over a parcel of real estate is said to own a what? I covered estates on, I think it was Wednesday's class. A leasehold estate. B, a fee simple estate. C, a life estate. Or D, defeasible fee estate. So when we have all the bundle of rights, which one is it? So you need to understand it. You may see the answer, okay? However, do you understand why it is fee simple estate? Because fee simple estate has all the bundle of rights. The right to use, possess, enjoy, encumber, and exclude. Okay. Of course, they own it 100% with the exception of having to pay property taxes. Okay. However, they have the right, they have the best type of ownership. Okay. Is the free simple estate or freehold absolute. Bundle of rights, fee simple estate. Good, Lisbeth. Lisbeth, when are you taking your exam? Still didn't. Number 10, a portion of Wendell's building was inadvertently built on Jenny's land. This is called what? A, accretion, B, avulsion, C, encroachment, D, easement. See, I don't know. I am still retaking the courses. Oh, okay. All right. You're retaking 2 because you didn't pass the national and the state, or you're only taking for one of them? I finished my renewal classes today, my 18 hours. Tenancy. Okay, got it. So tenancy, yes, an encroachment. When somebody's property, or let's say a shed or something, or the fence is put on someone else's land, that is an encroachment. When they end up selling and do a survey, that's going to have to be removed, okay, by the neighboring property owner. Oh, okay, you're retaking both. Awesome. Okay. Well, whatever you do, hang in there. Don't give up. When you fail, it's not that you fail. When you don't get up and keep going, that's when we fail. So the principal attributes of an encroachment is it is accidental and it involves only part of a structure. Most of the times it's accidental. Some other times it could be intentional, or the owners really didn't know where the boundary line was, and so that's why it's accidental. Because a lot of times people don't get a survey if they're buying cash. Okay. If there's a loan required, the lender will require a survey. So typically the issue would be resolved by selling Wendell an easement or lease it, or if practical, actually moving the structure. So if Wendell is not happy that, if Jenny is not happy that Wendell has something on her property, it can say, hey, remove it, right? Otherwise, they can give them an easement. All right, number 11. Gosh, this is frustrating. Let's see, line spacing. If I do large, nope. Let's see if I do, okay, that's better. All right, number 11. The purchase of a ticket for a professional sporting event gives the bearer what? The purchase of a ticket for a professional event gives the bearer what? A, an easement right to park his car, their car. B, a license to enter and claim a seat for the duration of the game. C, an easement and gross interest in the professional sporting team. Or D, a license to sell food and beverages at the sporting event. Remember to type for anybody that just came on. We're on the new book, and type the answer number and the letter when you participate. And please participate. This is for you. Should you get it incorrect, I will help you understand it. Okay, let's see. Lisbeth says 11B. Anyone else? There's quite a few of you on here, so come on. Okay, the answer is re. Oh my gosh, I've been up since 3:45 this morning, guys. Okay, so the answer B, a license to enter and claim a seat for the duration of the game, right? That's what the purchase of a ticket. And you would say, what does that have to do with real estate? Well, the football field is real estate, right? And so they only have a temporary permission to go and sit on it. Got it? Man, I was taking the tests on mine, and some of them they didn't explain. And it's like, I'm having to think, common sense. It's like, whoa. And if I didn't get a perfect score, I kept taking the exams over until I got a perfect 100, right? So I could understand it better. I mean, I passed them all, but I wanted to get 100. Except for the last one. I was so tired. I couldn't, I got an 85 or 90 or something. And I'm like, okay, I'm done. I just wanted it to get over with. Okay, number 12. If the owner of the dominant tenement becomes the owner of the servient tenement and merges the two properties, what happens? Okay, so they're talking about an easement, right? So you have a dominant party and we have the servient party. Who is who? Could somebody answer who is the dominant party and who is the servient party? Before I move to the next page, and you'll get to see the answer. Who is the dominant party when there's an easement? And who is the servient? And these are not the utility easements. This is an easement, from one owner to the other one, like a driveway easement, a well easement, a septic tank easement, a creek easement. Who's the dominant party and who's the servient party? Type your answer. Type what a dominant and servient. Is the dominant the owner or is the dominant the neighbor or whoever has the easement right? Okay, so Lisbeth answered A, the easement becomes dormant. B, the easement is unaffected. So when they both merge, so there's two different neighbors and then they merge the properties. So it becomes dormant. B, it is unaffected. C, it's terminated. Or D, properties retain their former status. So when the properties are combined and they're brought together, then there's no two separate properties. So the easement is terminated, right? Dominant and servient. So the dominant is the neighboring the person that is using the driveway that is on the neighbor's property. So the servient, that's the property owner that has the driveway, and that owner is giving permission or allowing through a recorded easement to the neighbor to use their driveway. Okay, I had that in Oregon. So the driveway, there was only one driveway for two properties because there was a creek. So there was a large bridge, and the bridge was actually a flatbed railroad truck. I mean, a railroad car without the wheels, okay? And then it was all wood. So we both had a 50-50 right and responsibility to maintain and repair that bridge and the driveway. Blow it, clean it, maintain it, the cost was divided 50-50. Okay, so C is the answer. So both tenements involve two adjacent properties, which an easement is involved. For example, let's say Bridle Creek Farms and Barnstable Farms are separate parcels divided by a country lane that provides access to the county road. The lane is owned by Bridle Creek, but the deeds of both properties stipulate that Barnstable Farms shall have unrestricted access for the purpose of accessing county roads. That access is an easement. Thus, if the owner of Barnstable Farms buys Bridle Creek Farms, the need for the easement disappears. Once a property is sold again, then that easement has to be put in place again. So 12, what number was that? 12? Okay. 12C, right? Okay, you said 12A. Oh yeah, dormant. So yeah, it doesn't go to sleep. Okay, dormant, like when the bears are dormant, right? They go into hibernation. It is terminated. So you were close, Lisbeth, but not dormant. Okay, number 13. Homeowner Jeannie acquired the ownership of land that was deposited by a river running through her property. So Jeannie acquired ownership of land that was deposited, okay, by a river running through her property. So sometimes you can have, a mudslide like in California, or a river is running really fast and it eats up on one side of the river and can push the dirt to the other side. Or when there's over flooding or something like that, and the banks can fall, the earth, right, can redirect and move somewhere else. So it can add and take away from somebody's property. And so that is a cause of nature. So is it A, reliction, B, succession, C, avulsion, or D, accretion? And I said something about accretion in one of the previous questions. I forgot to show the answer. 12C. So 13D, accretion. It's to add. Jeannie gained land which was deposited by the river running. Very good. All right, number 14. The rights of the owner of property located along the banks of a river are called what? A, littoral rights, B, prior appropriation rights, C, riparian rights, or D, hereditaments. So remember, a river is running. River, riparian. Lake, littoral. Okay, that's the way you want to remember littoral and riparian. RRLL, littoral, lake, riparian, river. So those are the rights of owner of property located along the land, along a river. Say 14. Okay, we're going to do one more question and we'll call it a day. Aren't you glad I don't keep you 2 hours like I used to do the classes when I did vocabulary, national questions, and then state questions? I mean, I could do that every now and then if anyone is interested, so I could do everything, vocabulary, national, and state. Okay, number 15. So did you get that? Littoral and prior appropriation or different kinds of water rights. standing still water, not moving. In the first case, navigation rights to an ocean or other large body of water. In the second, the right to use a water source for irrigation. A hereditament is any inheritable property. So it was talking about littoral and prior appropriation, right? When somebody is given water rights, they have to get prior approval. Okay, so first come, first serve. Remember in the prior question? Okay, number 15. The local utility company dug up Frank's garden to install a natural gas line. The company claimed it had a valid easement and proved it through the county records. Frank claimed the easement was not valid because he did not know about it. The easement is what? A, was valid even though the owner didn't know about it. 2, was an appurtenant easement owned by the utility company. C, was not valid because it had not been used during the entire time that Frank owned the property. Or D, was not valid because Frank was not informed of its existence when he purchased the property. So remember, what rights do utility easement has? So who's in the right and who's in the wrong here? Okay, Lisbeth says A. Anybody else? Come on, do it for the last one. Type in the question number and the answer. Don't be afraid. Be brave. Just do it. A, easements grant only access, not ownership. So use of occupancy rights. Further, that access is generally for the benefits of the property owner, such as maintaining utilities or sidewalks. As such, they attach to a deed or lease and remain in effect until specifically lifted. So someone can't build a fence, okay, and cover access or block access to those utilities. For example, on my property in Oregon, I installed a fence for my animals. So yes, it did block entrance. However, I installed a gate at each end of the property, allowing fire engines or any other utilities to come in on an emergency. So what does my neighbor do? Installs trees because he thought I put in that gate because I wanted to go through his property because I had a walkway easement through the land. But he tore down all the bushes, all the trees there so that it was not noticeable that I had a right to pass through the land. Okay, because the driveway was on his land, and so I had an easement to use the driveway. So there was a path from my property to the driveway. Well, he installed trees right along my fence. So if there was an emergency, the power company, the fire engines, the well companies, whatever was there that is a utility easement, they were going to have to saw down the trees, okay, and then open my gate. So sometimes you never understand why neighbors do certain things, okay? I mean, I was thinking on the right, okay, I've got to give them access if I install a fence. I want to protect my animals, keep them fenced in on, 5 acres. However, I have to provide access to the utility companies. Hi, Ruth. Thank you for joining. And that was the last answer for the day. So the question was, the local utility company dug Frank's garden to install a natural gas line. So utility companies have an easement and a right of way to use that easement. So Frank complained, said, well, I didn't know about it. Well, that's too bad. They still have access. So he can't sue them. So he didn't know about it because it wasn't informed to him at the closing, or he didn't read the title report, the commitment, nor the deed. Okay, so that was it for today. So any questions before we call it a day and let you go and enjoy the rest of your Saturday and weekend? No questions? Okay. I'm looking at different monitors where I have my YouTube channel and the 2 Facebook pages. Nope. Okay. Well, for all of you who are here, remember to support me on the YouTube channel, man. Tap that subscribe button. Okay. Click that little bell and click the bell alert so that you get notified as soon as I upload or go live. And write a comment, okay, and let me know if there's something else that you would like me to teach aside from national questions, state questions, and vocabulary. And remember to like this video if you found it valuable. So send me some love, okay? Put some likes, subscribe to my channel if you haven't yet, and let us grow activity and have YouTube promote the channel so that more people have access. Anybody that you know, hey, share this video with them from YouTube, and let's help them pass their exam or get their real estate business started. So some of you that already have known me for 8 or 9 years doing this on Facebook and in person, you know that I was basically only doing vocabulary, national questions, and state questions. Well, now, as of January 1st, I am providing other information to help you get your real estate business started. You know, what do you do after you pass your exam? What do's and don'ts, okay, when you're in the real estate business, tips and tricks, you know, social media, YouTube, anything, how to work with buyers and sellers. So I just started to do them. And also when I go to events, I'm letting you know what kind of activity we as realtors do on a daily basis, weekly basis. So yesterday I did I attended a networking event where I met commercial realtors. I met farm and ranch realtors that are experts, title companies, lenders. So these are inspectors. These are all individuals that will become part of your network. So the commercial realtor that was there, one of my students that got her license and joined me at EXP, she needed help from a commercial realtor. That's not my expertise. So I met one of the guys there that just joined, moving from Keller Williams, and they're working together. They're going to split, okay, that commercial real estate sale because it is her family's church that they lease. So never know who we're going to meet at network events. You start building your network. So keep out an eye for different videos that I post, not just tutoring videos to prepare you for exam. That's why some of you are seeing those. So thank you very much. Rosaura, have a good weekend, and Lisbeth also, and be safe. I will, because you know what? Here in San Antonio, 7,000 people in one day caught the virus. Oh my gosh. And I was at certain events. I was wearing my mask, and some people ended up getting the virus. Of course, not because I was wearing the mask, okay, but I didn't get it. All right. So with that said, you all, have an awesome Saturday. Have an awesome day. And until next time, catch you later. Thank you for attending.